Well, hey everybody, it's AmJustDuane. Hope you're having. I wanted to show you my high-speed camera. It's a Panasonic Lumix TL, I think 3. Wonderful camera. Shoots HD video, great sound. Got a stick pick that goes with it, which mounts on the end of my my trekking pole. It really takes good video. I've been really pleased with it. You're probably asking, well, that's fascinating about your camera, and we've seen the stick pick before. It's a great invention, but it's hardly news. So why are you telling us about it? Well, as it turns out, when you charge the battery for these, you need to remember to take the charger off the wall and put the battery actually into the camera. As it turns out, without a battery, this high-tech piece of equipment frankly just isn't getting it done. So I'm here at the Laurel Highlands trail. It's a trail that I hiked a lot growing up. It's been a long time since I've been on it. Frankly, I have fond memories of it. It's a beautiful trail. You can see the ferns around and beautiful trees, winds rustling, get some great views. And that's mostly what I remember from growing up, was great views, some nice creeks and brooks. And as I was hiking in here, I was just looking around at how beautiful it is and thinking, I don't remember how pretty it really was. And I think part of it was because in the old days I was carrying 50 pounds or better sometimes. And so I think mostly it was just an effort to get from point A to point B, and I didn't really enjoy the trail as much as I could. Now you can see I'm relatively lightweight. I mean, I got half a Subway sandwich. I went, the real high-speed backpacking route. But even with food, water, everything, I'm probably still under 20 pounds. About 10 or 11 base weight. So I think that has really made the trip a lot more enjoyable than I remember. I mean, I stepped in a big hole coming in, kind of looking around, not paying attention, slipped in, and I was thinking, man, if I had a heavy pack, I'd probably have a broken ankle. But as it was, didn't affect me at all. So I'm still going to do the best that I can using the fine video on my Droid, and we'll see how it turns out. If it doesn't, well, no harm, no foul. At least I'm still having a beautiful time out here. I was going to show you all my equipment, all my gear. I may still do that a little bit, but not to the same extent that I was going to. You have to register for campsites here, and I did. And I see one fire pit, so I believe this is a campsite, and there's no numbers on anything, so I think I'm probably good. I'm kind of right off the trail. I'm uphill from the actual shelter area some, so I'll probably just stay here for the night. Alright, talk to you soon. This has startled me a number of times, so I just had to show it on film. The elusive bungee monster. Dun dun dun! Be careful. Is it the poisonous or non-poisonous variety? You can only tell by looking at the head. Yeah, that's right. This has been laying on the ground, and every time I walk past it, I jump and react poorly. So I thought that I would share. Okay, quick tour of my campsite. You can see I'm up on a hill, but we're in a hammock, so who cares? These are the best 2 trees I could find that didn't have huge widowmakers right above them. A lot of dead timber in here, so you can see I'm in porch mode. I'm using my trekking poles. One note that I do unscrew the baskets and reverse them so that it doesn't damage my tarp. And I use Z-line down to some titanium stakes. You can see this is my Z-Pack tent. It's almost the same size as my Superfly, but this whole rig comes in at less than 10 ounces. It's wonderful. And you can see that he puts a connection point in the middle on the inside that I just stuck a little S-beaner on, and so I got shock cords on all the doors. So right now the doors are just pulled back into the middle. But if I need to, I just go up and unclip those and run a stake out, and I'm back in business. For those of you that have kept up on the things I've put out, I don't know if you have or not, but that's my gear loft, gear hammock. I also take it down and use it as a camp seat, and you see I made it fluorescent orange sil nylon so that you can also use it as a pack cover and a signaling device. And in deer season, it's orange so that, you know, people know I'm not Bambi. And you can see I just keep all my stuff inside there. And then I hang my pack. This is a Mariposa Plus. It's pretty much empty, but I hang it off of the gear hammock and not my main hammock. Because I was hanging it off my main hammock, and it was just enough to mess up the lay on it. I just didn't feel right. So that's what prompted me. That and my bad back around the campfires that made me decide to go ahead and do that. For my primary tent, or my primary hammock rather, I use War Bonnet Traveler. And you'll see I have a Molly Mac Gear Shamu underquilt. Actually, it does quite nicely. It's a little warm right now, so I may kick it off to the side. But it'll be great for later. It's supposed to get down to about 60 tonight, so that should be pretty good. And I use the War Bonnet Guy net. That's separate net that fits around the hammock. So I like it a lot, and in wintertime I can ditch it to counteract some of the weight of the heavier underquilt and top quilt. One change that I did make, though, is you might notice that it's pulled out, kind of similar to a War Bonnet, or a Blackbird rather. I sewed a little Grosgain loop in the net and attached some 3/32 shot cord. And I did the same on the other side. You can see it there. Pulled out again, 3/32 shot cord. And what I noticed was, you know, you try to have a little bit of sag in the ridge line, and what it was ending up with was, as I was laying in the hammock, I would get folds of netting on my face, and that just wasn't working for me. So I went ahead and added those pull-outs. So when I stake those out, it pulls everything nice and tight away from my face. And that works out pretty well. Okay, real quick before it gets too dark, and here's my top quilt. My top quilt, of course, it's in Steel Nation colors. Made it myself. I kind of stole the design from my Jacks Are Better quilts. I really love their quilts. They lay perfectly, and I like the way they built them. It's pretty smart. So what it does is, you can see I have a foot box here. I don't know how well that comes out black with the shadow. But I actually have a pull cord right here that runs through the entire bottom of the quilt, or the top quilt rather. So you can see how that just kind of cinches up tight. And then I ran some Omni tape along the first, say, 9 or 10 inches of the bottom. So when I seal that up and pull up the drawstrings, then I end up with a nice little foot box. And if it gets warm or my feet start sweating, then I loosen that draw cord up, and it vents that foot box out. Now this is 1.1 ripstop on the top and bottom, gold inside, black outside. And inside I have one layer of Insultech IX or 9, whatever we're calling it. And you can see I sewed them together, and then I sewed quilting in there. You can kind of see the black thread. So and it works for me. I made it for Georgia, where it doesn't really get below 70 at night, just for kind of a throw on in the morning. It weighs in at under 10 ounces. But tonight again, it's supposed to get down 59, 60, something like that. So we'll see if that does me any good tonight, or if I freeze, and then we'll know that it's not good for below 70. So that'll be fun. All right, that's all I can think of for my rig for now. So bye bye. Well, everyone, unfortunately I didn't get to finish my video up on the trail. It was raining really hard, and obviously with the Droid I didn't have any waterproof camera to work with, so it's all good. I had a great time. It did rain the last little bit of the trail, but I was ready for it. All my equipment worked perfectly. The top quilt got down to about, like I said, about 60, 59. I was fine, plenty warm. Could have gone lower. So really happy with my whole system. Had a great time. The trail was beautiful. It was really good to get back up there. So anyhow, I had a great time. Thanks for coming along, and I look forward to seeing you again on the trail.